Hello and welcome back. I'm Lygo and this series is about learning the MLS in Football Manager. In this episode, episode 2, we're going to take a look at the MLS and the Supporters Shield and how that works and play our first game as LA Galaxy. Before we dive into that, I just want to say if you find the video helpful or entertaining and want to see more, leave a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel. It not only helps me out greatly, but also helps other people find these videos as well. With the introduction out of the way, we'll come to the competitions. It hasn't loaded as yet because we've got to submit the squad, but we've got the MLS and the Supporters Shield. Now the MLS, if we click on that, you can see we are broken down into two conferences, the Eastern and the Western, and then if we come to the Supporters Shield, it's almost effectively like an overall table, taking in the results from both conferences and combining them together. And I believe the top place of the Supporters Shield goes into the North American equivalent of the Champions League. So there is actually an overall incentive for being the best team out of all the teams. And the competition stages look like this. We've seen the group stage, which is the two conferences and the Supporters Shield. From there we go into the Western Conference and Eastern Conferences. And from there it is a knockout round. We've got semi-finals, finals, and the West and the East then meet in the final combined, which is the MLS Cup at the end of the season. Any American fans watching would be able to correct me with this. I believe the MLS Cup has more significance than the Supporters Shield, but as I said, please correct me if I'm wrong on that. So that's the format of the leagues. Looking at the schedule, we've got our first game against Colorado Rapids. Just before we have a roster to submit, we've been asked to give our final 30-player roster, which is similar to the European League, submitting your squad for the season. Any players that we do not register, though, will become available on a waiver list, which I believe is a separate draft. But in our case, looking down, we've got everybody registered, apart from 2 players that are currently out on loan. So we will confirm that. And there's a confirmation that any players not registered will be waived unless they are a Generation Adidas contract or designated player, or unless they suffer any sort of injury. And then after the March waiver draft day, waived players who have an MLS guaranteed contract will still count against the salary cap. We're happy with that. Submit the squad. And just to show you what the waiver list looks like, you get a message come through with all the players that have been waived on their contracts. And you can click the view waiver list, which brings you to this screen. You get a whole list of the players and you can see them in more detail. We'll have a look at Carlos Fierro. Used to be a wonder kid on here. He's been free transferred, and I believe if we want him, there should be an option we can claim him from the waivers. But I'm not going to do that because I'm happy with the squad. However, I will try and scout some of them to see if we can pick up a bargain, but we haven't got much room on the salary cap now. This is the team I'm going with for the first game of the season. We've got Bond in goal, Villafana, Gonzalez, Steres and Araujo at the back, Dos Santos and Bia and Clayestan in the midfield, Letget and Alvarez out wide with Chicharito leading the line. The tactics are there on the screen. It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward 4-3-3. We'll submit the team, go into the match in the dressing room, but the official team sheet's there. And I think, what are we going to say for this one? Play our own game and we'll win? Or we are at home, first game of the season, give the fans a performance for that's what they're expecting. And we do get a fancy intro for the first game of the season. See how Colorado Rapids are going to line up. So it looks like they're lining up with a 5 at the back. Defensive midfielder, 2 midfielders and 2 up top as well. So we'll get the game kicked off. There's Colorado to kick off the season for us. And I forgot to adjust the match highlights and all that stuff. So we get a bit of a nothing highlight to kick off with, but that's all set now. The camera's set and everything else. And we do get the actual first highlight coming down this left-hand side with Villafana crossing to the box. Chicharito with a header, good header. And he's a player that's only probably about 5'9", I think, but well known for his aerial ability and managing to find space in the box. And a good chance for him there, but can't quite hit the target. And it looks like we're coming out of the blocks here. We're getting the fair share of possession, 55%, and we're having the most attempts as well. But as I say, this is Colorado now on the attack. We need to try and press and get the ball back now. And we're looking fairly solid, but it's a long ball over the top that's caught us out. And what a finish that is from the Colorado striker. The keeper caught in no man's land. And as I said, we were looking good. We've been pegged right back and we've got a lot of work to do now. We'll have another look at this goal because what a goal that was. And to be fair, it's just a lump over the top, and what a finish that is. Jonathan Bond gets caught in no man's land, can do nothing about the finish. And now we're facing an uphill battle going into half time. We're still having a lot of the ball, but just not doing enough with it. So we'll shout a bit of encouragement to the team. And I'm still not sure where we do fit in on the overall scale of things. The media prediction is putting us up there in top end of the table. But based on LA Galaxy's most recent season, where they finished towards the bottom, it's hard to tell. But for now, we're going to point the finger and expect to see a much better showing. Some of the players are still looking a bit nervous and anxious, but we'll send them back out. And I think what we'll do is we'll push on to be a bit more attacking, because we are getting the majority of the ball, so it's just whether we do get caught out. And I mean, they've got really a back six that we're trying to break down, so shout to be more expressive, try and show a bit more freedom from the players. We're up on the 70-minute mark, still nothing going on. As I say that, there's a highlight just as about to make a substitution. And with that highlight, we go and score. What a free kick that is. We back on level terms with a header from Steres, and what a goal that is. We'll see the highlight, then we will make our substitution. Great ball in from Dos Santos to the far post. Steres just needs to get it on target. The keeper's made a real hash of that, but we're thankful for that. And we will make our substitutions now. And I think the first one I'm going to do, we don't really need another defensive player on the pitch at this point, I don't think. So we'll swap Mbir and Claestan around. We'll bring Aidan Barlow on to be the Mazzala. And we'll change Claestan into an advanced playmaker as well. See if he can start unlocking this defence a bit more. And then the other change I'm going to make is on this left-hand side, Andrew Carlton can come on as the inverted winger. I think he's right-footed, is he? Yeah, he's right-footed. Player with plenty of potential, so we'll give him the last 20 minutes. See if he can do anything. Tell them they're both capable of making the difference. And hopefully with that goal from the free kick, we've got momentum going our way now. So we'll wait on shouting to the team again. This time it's Gonzalez with a header from the corner and just over again. And we're looking dangerous from the set pieces. We'll shout another bit of encouragement. 80 minutes on the clock now. And a little bit disappointed with Hernandez, Chicharito. Not really seen much of him other than that Hurley header in the first half. But Colorado trying to get on the counter-attack here. We've managed to hold them up for now. We recover the ball well in a good position as well. Now Chicharito's got a chance to do something. Gets into the box. He's brought down. Is it a penalty? Doesn't look to be. Play on for now. I don't think it's going to get pulled back, but we've got possession of the ball. Barlow straight through the middle. Chicharito, oh, and he should have scored. There's a reason we're paying an arm and a leg for him, and that is not it. And we will make our final substitution. And it is going to be Chicharito to come off. We'll bring Zoo back on for the last couple of minutes. And I think with that, just go very attacking as well. That should have been the winner there from Chicharito. And instead of coming away with all 3 points, we had an expected goal difference. We had an expected goal of 2.47 to Colorado's 0.47, and it's ended up 1-1. And I think hands in the pockets. There was no excuse for not winning that game. It does put us in 4th place, but a lot of teams still yet to play. It's early on in the season. In some aspects it was encouraging, in some aspects it was disappointing. But let's have a look at the schedule, where we're going to come back for. I think unless there's anything in between now and the Lamar Hunt US Open 4th round, that might be the next game that we come back for. Have a look how the cup works. So we'll wrap this episode up here. If you find the video helpful or entertaining and want to see more, leave a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel. It not only helps me out greatly, but also helps other people find these videos as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.